Basically, you've got a fire pump controller here, so we're going to start off with it. It's off right now, and the procedure to turn it on, you want to turn on the main power first. I normally hold the stop button just in case something is low in pressure and it won't come on. And then you do the transfer second. Okay. Gives you the readings of the pressure right now. So we got 243 pounds on it. That's what System is. Yes. It may vary a couple pounds or so, but that's where it's supposed to be. And you can go through the menu here, and it will tell you what the start pressures are. And let's see. We did the pump test this morning. That one's digital also. As far as the pump goes, you got one major component here that I stress that you pay attention to when you're doing a pump run or something. You've got a relief valve right here, which the black pipe, the spider right here. Anytime this pump's running or you're doing a monthly churn test, the water has to be coming out of there. That's the only thing that keeps it cool.
Yeah, okay.
That's very important. And the other thing is the packing, it should be dripping all the time. It should be a constant, not a real fast drip, but a constant.
When running the test and on?
Yes, when you're running a test on it, it would probably drip a little bit more than normal.
Yeah.
But that's the only way the thing stays cool. So our procedure in running the fire pump test is we don't want to jar the system, so we always shut the control valve to the system is what we do. When we turn it off and run the pump, it senses the pressure up here. So when you're running the pump and you got this valve turned off, this pressure becomes less than this, and when you go turn it back on, it makes the pump want to come back on.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily have to do it because you've got PRVs on every floor. You got pressure reducing valves, so it wouldn't hurt just to leave this on. So you got your test meter here. This is going to be closed all the time. This valve and that one over there. That's just for the test meter. You got your city bypass on the top. Those valves will be open all the time. Those two over there. And then the other one that's closed there, that's for the test header outside to do your yearly flow test. So you got three valves that are going to be closed all the time. This one down there is closed, and gauges here, we got the arm, but here city pressure is a little bit less than 100, so that's standard. You should be reading 90 pounds or so. Pump's running, of course, it's going to be 240, 250 when it's running. The next thing we have, they don't have none of these wired up yet, but that will be wired. Every floor, you can see this, we'll go around the stairwell and get another one. But this is the floor control assembly. All of these have a pressure reducing valve on it, which keeps the pressure 175 or less. And that's why they look kind of funny. You have an extra hose valve on top, and that's just for testing purposes. Which we haven't tested them yet. I'll be out to test them probably next week, but that's what that extra hose valve is for. And then you've got your main drain and water flow switch here to your annuals or quarterlies. That's the water flow switch. The drain for all this stuff goes out. And it dumps out in the front out here, right next to we'll walk outside next to the test header and the FDC connection. So anytime anything's draining, it's going to dump out there. And then there's also one on the other side of the building, but that one will only be for testing purposes. Yeah. All the sprinkler heads are going to be, these are the only ones, they're concealed type, white covers on them. You'll have some 200 degree or 175 degree uprights in areas like this with no ceiling. And it will have a spare wrench and, at least 5 or 6 heads of each type. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and shut the valve here, and I'll show you what I was talking about before. This is the valve to the system, so it's not, the system's got the pressure on it, but every time you turn it on and off, it gives it a little jar. And it is not good. I mean, over a period of time, you keep jarring stuff, it's going to possibly cause a problem. So we don't need to create a problem where there's not one need to Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and shut this. Alright, over here, we'll get some covers on these gauges here. What I'll do is pump's on, so you come up and you've called and you put the building on test and you've gone to your fire alarm panel and you bypass everything so the alarms don't go off. basically I'm gonna come down here to this valve right here, and I'm gonna open it very slowly. And I'm gonna record the pressure when it comes on. Stop, and also starting, also it's got a delay on it. Now this is what I was talking about earlier, so I'm going to let mine figure out this, and it's probably going to come back on. Well, it did. So, what you have to do in this situation, you got to have somebody go over and open the valve back up, and then it'll equalize the pressure, and the pump will come on.
You open up?
Yeah, go ahead, open it up. So what happened was, the system's got, there you go. The system's got adequate pressure on it, but between that valve right there and where the sensing line is, it lost that pressure out that pipe right there. See, it's gone back up now. Now it's fine. Okay. That's, and I think it's just the way they've arranged the piping on it, and sometimes they get it in a different position. I guess if you got it down below, then it's not going to read the pressure right if you close that and try to do a normal pump run with the pressure that the pump's set at. But if you're by yourself, all you have to do is just turn off the levers. Go up there, open the valve. Yeah. Oh, is that what you do that? Okay.
Because I did, one of the questions I had was, what if this person didn't shut this down? And you came back on, then you go over there and you open that valve up. What would happen in that scenario?
It would probably jar it pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, so.
And the pressure, what was it, before we opened the valve, it was 170 something? Yeah. So you're looking at, what, 60, 70 pound difference, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But that, you're right. If you're by yourself, you just turn it, it doesn't hurt to turn those off. You just turn it back on. Do you know that when you turn it off, it'll be the transfer first, then the main power, and just the opposite when you turn it back on. And again, there's a delay on when you start it. So when I do my monthly pump runs at places, 1 month I'll do a pressure drop, the other month I'll do a manual start. So when you do a manual start on this one, it has a little delay in it, so you got to hold the button for a minute. It doesn't come on immediately when you push the stop button, and it doesn't stop immediately when you hit the stop button. That's just the way they're made from the factory. Jockey pump. I don't normally go check them because if I'm walking up to it and the pressure's okay, I know that it's been working. But same thing on it, you can, bleed the pressure off there, and then it come on, and then send it back up. You just don't want to bleed it down too fast with the pump on because it'll make the pump come on before the jockey does. You don't want that to happen. And again, this one does not turn off. I'm sure your other one doesn't turn off by itself either. It doesn't have any run timers or something like that on it. This is standpipe feeding the standpipe feed, I guess. And again, the PRV, the pressure reducing valve, the test valve, and then your flow switch and inspector's test. Also, just behind Bobby here, there's this connection here. Sometimes I get confused with it. This is just for testing purposes only. So whenever we test the PRV, we have a flow meter and a fire hose, and we'll hook into this. And this is the drain that I was telling you that dumps outside in front of the pump room.
It's supposed to dump outside?
It better. Any questions? That's-
Well, for the most part though, this stuff here, I mean, this is kind of hands-off for us though, right? I mean, it's.
Yeah, I mean,
Crystal,
they'll,
the dude comes in and does the testing on it.
yeah, and they do all the testing, just for you guys, you know, if you're walking in, just come by and just look at the gauge, make sure that the gauge is pressure that you're normally seeing up. You know, there'll be 5 pound difference per floor, I believe, somewhere's around there. But again, and just checking that the indicator on the valves is in the direction of the pipe, tells you that it's on, you know. And the fire alarm panel's gonna tell you it should if something's turned on, yeah, so. And those, only other thing is on these flow control assemblies, which you gotta put on, they'll have a relief valve on them. So you have a little clear hose connected where those two, there's a plug there and there's a plug on that T. So if the system ever gets above 175, it'll, like a water heater, just dump water off of it. It'll relieve the pressure.
Right.
So if you, for instance, if you have the jockey pump running constantly for some reason, you know, that could be the cause of it. If this relief valve is leak.
And this is set up floor by floor, each
Yes,
level
yes,
that
yeah,
we're
each
on.
level,
So
yeah,
it's
each-
just
Yeah, for instance, this P1,
Yeah.
each floor would be the landing below.
the landing below?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good, I didn't know that. So that's P1, so you're gonna be a landing blow on everyone on the mid landing, okay?
Okay.